What's up, Ignite fans? I'm here with my power rankings for Stage 1, North America, their group stage. Up at the top here, we have all Group A teams, and right below it, we have all Group B teams. Let's get started. Space Station Gaming, this team, they've got a lot of potential. I think we know that. We saw that in their last outing. They don't have A tier potential, I'm going to be totally honest. They struggled way too much with stick drift gaming. They struggled way more than they should have. Yes, they beat them. No, it wasn't that close, but it was way closer than it should have been. Team Liquid Citadel, these are our reigning champs. This is the player quality on this team is insane. They are just too good. They will be in the grand finals. They may be the winners of playoffs once again. We will see. Yeah, we lost. This team, it doesn't look like they lost all that much with Cart Lover. Everyone thought that they would be down in the gutter without their Cart Lover, but Luca stepped in and he's been doing really well. He's filled Cart's shoes spectacularly, and I think that they can still do well with their run it down play style. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think player quality is the biggest impactor for Yeah We Lost. I think they could have dramatically worse players. I think it's the play style that allows them to beat a lot of these teams that they play against. And I think that, Yeah We Lost has a lot of potential to be number 2 in their division. Like, we'll see how they match up against Space Station. Honestly, I'm going to move these around. I think Yeah We Lost has a lot of potential. Obviously, it's Group A. It was terribly drafted. Group A has one good team, Team Liquid Citadel, that's an elite team. And then it has Stickdrift, TSM, and Equinox, which, to tell you guys anything, going into D tier, D tier, and D tier. These teams are horrid. Like, all of them. Like, Stickdrift, maybe you could put an argument that Stickdrift should be in the C tier. And for the sake of balance, I think I will put them in the D tier, but they're terrible. Like these teams, the fact that they're all in one group. Once when we have Stickdrift TSM, Stickdrift Equinox, these won't be fun matches to watch. It will be fucking trash versus trash. We saw TSM versus Stickdrift already, and it just was not an entertaining matchup. For Group B, we're gonna do it more over here on the right, starting with Nightmare. I'm gonna be totally honest. I think that they're a B tier team. I think that they got absolutely shafted by the group poll, but I think that they are a B tier team. Their player quality isn't exactly the best across the board, but they have good players and they have a lot of potential to do well. Were they put? If Nightmare replace Nightmare with any of these like MRC teams, and they absolutely eat everything up. Like if Nightmare was over in Group A, I think that you could easily slot them in with Space Station. And Yeah We Lost. I think that they would be they might even be above them. You might put them way above these, if Nightmare was over there, but unfortunately, they got shafted. Nightmare is in Group B, and they are seemingly stuck at the bottom of Group B. Another team that honestly, people obviously were very excited for the FlyQuest rebuild for good reason. They picked up Cart Lover and they picked up all of these great players. But I do not believe that, we haven't seen that much of them and they didn't look very good. It's very, very possible that this team will improve exponentially. They'll get their teamwork mixed up and all sorted. But, right now, I would put them on about equal with Nightmare. Their player quality is definitely way better across the board. But, for that, yes, I will have to put them in front of Nightmare. But I think that would be a very competitive game. We saw Nightmare competitive with Energy Shock. We saw Nightmare competitive with Sentinels. And I think that both of those teams are by miles and away ahead of FlyQuest. So I have reconvinced myself once again. Nightmare is going to be ahead of FlyQuest Gaming. 100 Thieves. This team, I think that they are borderline S tier. This is an elite team. The meta fell into their lap with the release of Dino, and they have fixed their biggest weakness in being incapable of playing Gambit. So I'm going to put them at the bottom of S tier. I think that they are one of the top contenders for being the winners of playoffs. Sentinels, this team is a B tier team, I think. I'm going to now combine these two. Let's get this going. So, Sentinels is a B tier team. They just don't have. I mean, the biggest issue is that their player pool or their hero pools are just like horrendous. They have huge gaps. They fixed that slightly with the changes to their support line, and with the release of Black Cat. We saw Rymazing on Black Cat, which was great to see, and he played pretty well in their matchup against Nightmare. But Nightmare's backline is free eats for anybody, I think. So we'll see how he does if he continues to play Black Cat into these teams with more developed backlines. I think we'll see how that goes. Swamp Gaming, this is another S tier team. They just have great player quality. They have great coaching, and they know what they're doing. They have a good read on the meta, it seems, and I'm excited to see how they play against 100 Thieves when that match comes up in a few weeks. And Energy Shock, we're going to put, they had a very, very, very competitive game with 100 Thieves. They lost out on that last fight in a horrendous way. There was some terrible play from them throughout that entire last fight. But I think that they still have a lot of potential. They can totally make it very far into playoffs. So that's it. Let's take a look at this power rankings. Team Liquid, Citadel, 100 Thieves, and Swamp Gaming in S tier. That checks out. Energy Shock coming in 4th. No surprises there. I think that, we lost, has potential to go up here. We're going to see if we lost beats Space Station. I think that they will 100% be an A tier team. They belong here. I'm gonna put them there. This might be stupid. This might be potentially retarded, but they're going there nonetheless. Space Station. Let's fix this ordering. We put Sentinels in front. No, honestly, no, we don't. I think Space Station is top of B. Then we have Sentinels. Then we have Nightmare. And then we have FlyQuest. I think this looks pretty good, I mean, the groups are completely terribly balanced, This is half of Group A. And they are at the bottom. If there was an F tier, that's where TSM would go. Potentially where Equinox would go. This is just a very, very unbalanced group draft. And I think that's really diminished the watchability for half of the games in this stage 1. Group B, every single game in Group B is a banger, and it will always be a banger. I'm excited to watch every single game that Group B puts on. Group A, however, is horrid dog shit. Why is Group A? They have one team. Like, Liquid Citadel is going to win 100%. I don't think they will drop a map in their group. We lost is an exciting team to watch simply because of their playstyle, and they will run their division underneath Liquid Citadel simply because of the poor quality of the rest of the people in their groups. TSM does not stand a chance. Equinox, not a chance. Stick Drift, not a chance. Space Station might have an okay matchup with we lost, but I do not think that it's there. Honestly, no. Okay, hold up. I need to make some changes here. Sentinels goes up. Yeah, I think this checks out. This looks better. Alright. That is the final tier list for my power rankings of Ignite Stage 1 in North America. I'm going to be back this Friday, tomorrow, with my recap and reactions for week 2, day 1 of Marvel Rivals Ignite North America. So keep an eye out for that one. See ya.